I've probably lost the same 3 stone on a number of occasions by now, and honestly I'm not exaggerating when I say I'd lose 3 stone, put the 3 stone back on, lose 3 stone, put the 3 stone back on. Honestly, at times I felt like I was going round in a merry-go-round, and I couldn't understand why, because I was training well, I was eating well, nothing was changing. I was doing everything I was supposed to be doing. But the problem, and if I'm honest to myself, I probably didn't see this until years later, was the fact that I was making the same 3 mistakes all the time. These are the mistakes I see everyday people like yourself making now. So if you feel like you're stuck in that cycle of losing the same weight, putting it back on, starting again every single Monday, this video is for you. Hi, my name is Yaz, personal trainer, online coach for what is coming up to 10 years. Makes it sound old, that. Anyway, I've worked with hundreds of people just like yourself who were probably being left feeling frustrated and not seeing the results, and most commonly it was the same 3 mistakes that my current clients were making in the past. In this video we're going to briefly talk about those mistakes. Mistake number 1, and it's a big one. When I started trying to lose weight, I'd go all in. It was either 100% or nothing at all. Monday morning, my meals were prepped, my training gear in the boot of my car ready for my training sessions, bottle had been filled, and basically Monday to Thursday I was living like an athlete. I felt disciplined, I felt strong, and basically I felt like I'd cracked it. And then I'd wake up rough as toast on a Sunday morning, spend all day in bed, Sunday night comes, order something shit from a takeaway that's not going to fulfill us, and it's going to leave us wondering,
fresh start tomorrow. I'll start again. It's Monday after all.
And I do that for years and years. You can't go on living like that. Perfect Monday to Thursday, absolute chaos at the weekend. You're left making no progress and starting again every single Monday. All that hard work wiped out within a few days. Believe it or not, that answer isn't to try harder on a Monday. Just don't be so extreme. Go to the barbecue, have some beers, have some food, enjoy the time with the family, but don't let the weekend be an excuse to undo all those good healthy habits that you've made during the week. Mistake number 2, doing too much cardio and not enough weights. When I was at my biggest, my whole strategy was run more, eat less. I'd jump on a treadmill for 45 minutes, sweat me fucking bollocks off and leave feeling like I'd done something heroic. Then all of a sudden I'd wonder why I'd still look the same 3 months later. So this tiny segment here is for men, especially men over 30. As we age, we naturally lose muscle. So if all you're doing is cardio and cutting calories, you're speeding up that process. Ultimately, you might lose weight, but you're going to look smaller, and no one wants that, especially being a bloke. Look, I know it might sound like I'm totally ruling out cardio. Cardio does have its place, I've already said this, but if you're not including any sort of resistance training within your structure, whether that be weight training, kettlebells, anything, body weight, exercises, you're making fat loss 10 times harder than it actually needs to be. By the way, if you're finding this useful so far, please follow us on Instagram. I will drop a link in the description below. It is going to be full of tips for people just like yourself who are trying to lose weight. Finally, mistake number 3, and this one was probably the one that frustrated us the most. Following the plan built for a 22-year-old who had no responsibilities and still lived at home with his mum. Normally what would happen is I'd find an online plan from some influencer in his early 20s who had washboard abs, lives in a gym, he had no kids, no mortgage, world's most boring diet of chicken and broccoli 6 times a day, and I tried to follow it. Probably lasted about a week and a half before life got in the way again. Because here's the reality, being an old codger, you've got work, you've got stress, you've got kids, you've got the school run, which if it's anything like mine is like Armageddon. You've got shit sleep, less energy, less time, more demands on everything, on life in general. And these generic plans, they're built for someone with bucket loads of spare time. That's not real life. What I do and get all my clients to do is to grab a pen and paper. I get them to write down what their current week looks like. So that can be things like school runs, activities, work, appointments. I don't tell them to tell us what the week to look like. It has to be what the current week looks like. Then once they've done that, and once you've done that, you can fit your training and your meals around that, not the other way around. For example, for me, I know I've got the school run Monday to Friday. I know I can train either before or after the school run. For me, I know evenings are a complete shit show with the boys, so I don't plan to train on the evenings. Simple stuff, but most people never do it. And look, sometimes plans don't work, do they? Sometimes life gets in the way, work gets in the way, but unfortunately that's life. But from experience, I work so much better and I'm more likely to stick to something if I either have that written down on paper, on my phone, whatever it may be, just having something there to keep us accountable. And you'll find having something like that, you're more likely to stick to it over time. Believe it or not, you're not broken, you're not lazy, you're not lacking motivation, you're just following a plan that was never built for you. If you want to stop starting again every single Monday, I've put together a free program that's going to help you lose £10 before summer, and that is also going to be in the link below. So if you want it, come and grab it.